So here's what we're doing. We're building a front strut bar. Front strut coilover bar, is that what it is? 300ZX front strut bar, yeah, that's what it's called. So my goal is going to be to essentially replicate a Powertrix version. Hopefully that works, except mine's going to be made out of steel because I can't work with aluminum yet. So I'm hoping I can replicate that, and it's going to have the same kind of zigzag design that seems to be a little more low profile. Hopefully it fits better, because I don't know, there's not that much clearance up here, and I already installed some poly mounts, and the motor moved up like quarter to half an inch, it felt like. So I just want to make sure there's enough clearance up there. So here's where I'm at. I'm mocking up the shock tower bracket templates out of cardboard, and I had to disconnect the fuel lines, and I kind of moved the throttle cable out of the way for now. So I got to replace these fuel lines anyway because they're an old mess, so that's fine. And then once I get the bracket in, then I can reroute them however they need to go. So what I did when I installed the ISR coils, these came off of the factory struts. It was like some top hat or something. So I used that to make a template out of cardboard. So here's what I got for now. So the issue I'm running in, we'll get to that later. So here's template for driver's side. It's gonna look something like that. And this will be, once I actually make it out of steel, this will be more refined and the shape will be better. I just left extra so I can have more working room. So that's what that's gonna look like. And then this will be the L bracket. It'll be something like that, right? Okay, so that's the driver's side. So that's gonna look like. Here's what I got for the passenger side. So first, this bracket here that holds this AC line, that's gotta go. And I already broke that off. It's one spot weld and some seam sealer, and all I did was just bend it off and it popped off. And I'll put a video right here so you can see what it looks like when it comes off. There you go. Okay, so that's off, and boy, that's nasty. So here's the template for the passenger side. It's gonna look something like that. And again, I use this same top hat thing to basically trace that out. Okay, so that's that. Here's the bracket. It's gonna go something like that. Like this height though isn't finalized. I think what I'm gonna end up doing is, once I got these where I want them, I'm gonna hot glue it and then kind of mock it up better from there. So it'll go something like that. And then I might make a hole or some kind of something to put a zip tie in where I can clamp this line down to it so it's not all wobbly, because that AC line was tied down to that little bracket there anyway. So this will be something like that. Okay, now let me show you what I got for the materials. So I had this leftover piece. It's basically a steel C-channel from Home Depot. That's what that looks like. So that was from another project, and I got a different one, a full 36-inch one, and that's what that looks like. It's 1/8 inch. It seems pretty sturdy. That's what's going to be the main bar. And then I went to Amazon and got some Chinese steel plates. So these are 3/16 thick, 6x6, and this is what I'm going to make the strut tower mounts out of. Man, that's thick boy. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, so that's that. Hopefully I got enough, because I don't want to wait for more. So I'm hoping that this 1/8 inch C-channel is going to be strong enough. I think it will be, because I got this old Megan Racing aluminum strut bar. This is for my G35, and it's bendy. It's super bendy. So, yeah, and this is not like this. This doesn't bend like that. The steel is pretty strong, and it's not super heavy. I mean, I don't know. I'd have to weigh. It's really not that bad. And so on my G, I have a still-in strut bar, and the mounts. No, the actual strut bar is like this thick-ass piece of steel. So I don't know. It's not that bad. If anything, this will be more for looks to make the engine bay cool, and we'll see how it turns out. So it's essentially going to look something like that. And I'm debating whether I'm going to do the little zigzag to make it sit lower or more flush like the Powertrix one. So we'll see. Still testing that out. All right, so let's hot glue this bar in place. So I got the portion here marked. Oh shit, that is way too juicy. Okay, I got a little line marked on the angle of how that's supposed to be. It's supposed to be like that. Okay. Give that a sec to set up. Then this one is gonna be like that. Something like that. Yep. Okay. All right. Shit, that's hot. Whew. All right, so I'm gonna let that set up, and then I'm gonna put it back on the car. I might trim this just to see what this looks like. And then hopefully it fits, and then hopefully we can start actually cutting some metal. Hopefully it doesn't fall apart, right? What a mess. Okay. Ooh. Hey, that looks pretty good. That might be a little close, but that's okay. Shoot. Hey, that turned out pretty clean. Look at that. There you go. I like it. So this is just a mock-up, right? So this is just a cardboard mock-up. I just want to make sure it's doable and I have the general shape outlined before I actually start cutting up metal, because there's nothing worse than buying a bunch of stuff, materials, and then you start cutting and you mess it up and you got to go back to Home Depot, wherever, and get more. So I think it's looking pretty promising. I like it. Okay, so next step is transferring the bracket template onto our 6x6 3/16 plates. Then I'm gonna cut that out, mount it, and go from there. All right, so I'm working on transferring the template over to this 3/16 plate. So this is the template for the driver's side strut, what am I even talking about? Strut mount, bracket, whatever, there you go. Okay, so I got it mocked up. I got it traced with my Milwaukee mark saw, except I messed up the tip. What a mess. Anyway, so I got it traced out. I also left a little extra because, better safe than sorry, I left a little extra, and then I'll trim it down as I get it fitted into the car. So just to verify I got it right, I took the I don't know, strut top hat, I think that's what it is, from the original suspension, and I lined it up with the holes, the bolt holes and it fits up, so that's good, very good. So I also traced this inner circle here to get me closer to the center, because I think what I'm going to try to do is get a hole saw and just use a hole saw to drill a hole, because I have one that's pretty close. Let's see what I got. So, okay, that's too small. I mean, still pretty close, not that bad. Yeah, I'll probably end up using that one. Nah, that's way too big. So I'll probably end up using that one, and then I'll have to trim the rest down with something. Yeah, in that case, okay, yeah, so I'll use this to drill that hole out, and then I'll probably use my grinder to cut slits in here and then cut the rest of that out. And then these will just be with the drill bit. I really need a drill press, that's what I need. So that's one. And then, yeah, there you go. Once I get that cut out, I'll do the other side on this other plate for the passenger side, and then go from there. But so far so good. I like it. I mean, should I just install this, like I said, paint it black, call it good? Who's gonna know, right? It's just, I mean, it's really for looks anyway, probably. Okay, so here we go, tracing the passenger side. Let's hope it goes well. Okay, so this plate I cleaned with alcohol, so hopefully I got rid of whatever grease or oil that they put on this in China from the factory to prevent rusting. So here we go. Alright, so here's the first test fit for the passenger side bracket. So it's pretty close. I have to widen out this hole here a little bit. The bolt holes actually fit pretty well. That was good. I do have to trim more here, I think, and then probably back here also, and then here as well. So I'm gonna work on that, and then we'll see what it looks like. Okay, so I got the passenger side shaped, fitted pretty well. Let's see how it fits. Excuse me. Okay, so that fits pretty good. I might have to trim it a little more here to kind of clear this power steering bracket a little bit, but the opening here fits good. I'll have to finalize it with a hand file to get it smooth and get it a nice round shape, but it fits. Bolt holes line up pretty well. So you see it's teetering. So part of it is this power steering bracket. So I'm gonna have to do something with that, make some room with that. Okay, so I came up with a really good idea. I forgot I had my Dremel, and it's got this, I don't know, little attachment. I'm sure you can just get a regular Dremel in there, but I use that. It's a little stone, I guess, and I use that to just shave that off. And yeah, it turned out pretty good. It's pretty smooth. Sweet, I like it. So there's also this seam sealer here. Let me see if I can scrape that off. So I will eventually paint that before I finalize everything, but here's what I got with the bracket. So I took my grinder, and I just kind of shaved off, I don't know what that is, 1/16, 2/16, 1/8, to make up the difference here for the power steering pump bracket. So let's see how it fits. It's wobbling on something, but I think it's this opening needs to come out a little more. Shoot. Yeah, because if I look, this edge is kind of raised up, and I think that's what's hitting. So let me open this hole a little more and then we'll see how that looks. Okay, so I got what looks to be like the final shape for the passenger side bracket. Okay, so the hole ended up being a little bigger than I thought, or that I wanted it to be, but that's okay, learning experience. And some of these edges will be finalized further, and the edge here will be finalized more. But as far as fitment, this should be the final form. So let's see how it fits. There you go. Say it fits pretty good. Not bad. Yeah, that's, like I said, that hole ended up being not as nice as I wanted it to be, but oh well. We'll see. Maybe I'll remake it. Probably not, because this was a pain in the ass to hand file that. I filed the edges and tried to make it look as round as possible. I did use a hole saw, but the hole saw was too small, so I had to, it was a 3-inch hole saw, but I think this is really like a 3 3¼ That's the hole saw that I should have got, but I don't really want to go and spend another $25 on another hole saw to do the other side, the driver's side. Maybe I will. I really don't want to, because now I kind of know what to expect. So I think I'll be fine. So let's put some bolts on here. All right, so not bad. Let's get some light in here. Meh. Yeah, I'd say that's not bad. That's pretty good. So, okay, so I'm going to work on the driver's side now.